like to welcome everybody to this year's annual Parent Summit here for Pinon Unified School District. My name is Mr. Saban, the assistant principal here at the high school. In addition to the many duties I have here at the high school, one of them is as a test coordinator. I'd like to go through the tests we offer here at the high school and give a brief synopsis of what each test is and why we test. The first question I like to answer is, what is the purpose of testing in schools? My explanation for that is to measure learning progress and achievement, along with it gives us an evaluation tool for the effectiveness of our educational and instructional programs. So in other words, what we like to do is we utilize the tests we have and analyze the data, disseminate the data, and put that back into our instructional, into our classrooms, so our teachers can hit upon areas we need to improve on based on the data from the testing. Two of the tests that we offer here at the high school are DFAs and benchmarks. Our DFAs are just our formative assessments, and what that means is our formative assessments are more frequent tests compared to our summative tests, which are quarterly. We do our DFAs weekly. Most of the time we do them on Fridays into the week, and it's basically a 5-question test that covers what we taught during the week. Just gives us an idea to break down data. We, with the teachers, go to our PLCs, which is our professional learning communities. That's where they disseminate and analyze the data to help improve their instruction. Our benchmarks, again, are a little bit different than our DFAs. They're summative tests, so that means they're quarterly instead of weekly. And again, that just gives us a broad spectrum of testing over the quarter. Again, we use that data to improve our educational instructional programs within the classrooms. The next series of tests that I'm going to talk about are different than our DFAs and our benchmark tests. These are more standardized testing, and standardized tests are different in that they offer a placement or an entrance. It's basically an entrance assessment. The first test I want to talk about that we offer here, it's different than our DFAs and our benchmark, is the Azella testing. The Azella test is basically all students have to take it. It measures our English language proficiency, and if the students score of proficient on the test, they can exit out of the English language learning program. This is headed by Dr. LaBarge in our English department. Again, that's the Azella test, and it measures our English language proficiency. The next test I'd like to talk about is our NWEA testing. And basically, you'll see this written sometimes as NWEA MAP test. MAP just means measures of academic progress. Basically, the NWEA is a growth test for each individualized student. We like to do this 3 times a year, early on as possible, in the beginning of the school year, the middle of the school year, and then at the end of the school year. This gives us a great growth measurement to see the progress or lack thereof of each student has made over the course of a full school year. A couple more things on the NWEA. The NWEA we use almost similar to our DFAs and our benchmarks. We use that data, we analyze the data to observe what our strengths are for the students, the weaknesses are for the students, and we incorporate that into our instructional programs. The NWEA was spearheaded this year by Miss Amy Dudley, who is also in our English department, did a great job with the NWEA test. The next test I want to talk about is the ACT test. These are standardized tests that we offer. There's 2 types, actually 3 this year. The 2 types are our state ACT, and then our national ACT. Our state ACT is our juniors. All the juniors are mandated from the state to take the ACT, the state test. And then we also offer a national ACT test, which is our juniors and seniors. And this year, Arizona is offering ACT Aspire testing, which is all the freshmen. And these are placement tests, entrance exams tests, our usual standardized tests, ACT. So we have 3 of them, our state ACT, our national ACT, and our Aspire ACT, which is our new freshman test. The next test that I want to talk about is our AZ Sci test, which is a state level assessment test, which measures the proficiency of our content standards in science. And this is taken by all of our juniors. The final test I want to talk about is our ASVAB test. ASVAB is our military test. ASVAB just stands for Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. It's a multiple choice test that is used to evaluate a student's mental aptitude for enlistment in the military, the armed services. Our ROTC department, led by Colonel Boyd and Sergeant Jones, handle this testing. They do a great job with that. In closing, I want to thank all of you again for attending this year's annual Parent Summit, and thank you for watching the presentation we had here for the tests that we offer at the high school. If any of you ever have any questions, feel free to contact me with questions regarding the tests that we do or anything else for that matter. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.